It's week 4 of the NFL, where London will play host to a different kind of football. It's the Bears and the reigning Super Bowl champs on Monday Night Prime Time.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our home side in this one. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late, so maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays, anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here we go. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry it.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and this is picked up by the Bears. So now here are the Bears with excellent field position to start off. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there,
on the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players in one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now it's Fields. Throw left side complete. That's more. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll run with Etienne. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10, Fields. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 6-play drive.
And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Second and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jordan. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 30. Rolling to his right. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's London with the football. As they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Throw left side complete. That's Jordan. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
Flush to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Black Knights are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Let's go, let's go.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth. And this one is right down Broadway. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
London about set to take over on offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown. A big play there. 76 yards.
And the Black Knights have regained the lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Fields.
He's going to look deep for more. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Again, Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night, as it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jordan Love leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From Motown, we'll take the trip across Lake Erie to Cleveland to check in on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Jamar Chase, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And things didn't go so well, as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. Devontae Adams, a touchdown catch in the victory. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, on the other side, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. Both teams making their final adjustments. We're closing in on the second half. And for the call, let's get you back over to London, where we rejoin Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline. Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play? An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And this will be a Bears first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. We've got a man down on the field. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Off play action, Fields. And he's got the hook up to Moore. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Out of the gun, Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's Ford. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Touchdown, Bears! Travis Etienne, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears have once again taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. A play fake, now Fields to throw. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. Now the ball comes loose. And the defense says they have it. Yes, they've got it.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at the... So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A big connection on that one. 39 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Escaping the pressure right. And one more time, that's Watkins. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, let's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. London about set to take over on offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 2 straight incompletions. Now the pressure's really on. Last thing you want here to start overtime, a 3 and out.
And I know that a few years ago when they changed the rules about overtime, it may have changed a little bit about how you go about things. But bottom line is, when you have the football, you never want to give it up. You want to make sure you get points on the board at a minimum and put pressure on the other team. This is a huge third down call coming up.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game, and boy, they did it well.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The fourth down pass play doesn't work out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all tied. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On play action, Fields toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. An absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for the Bears, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.